Here are 5 tips for when you are going to make a quilt that is outside your color comfort zone. Hi there! Welcome to a new video on the Sugaridoo channel on this Q&A Tuesday. My name is Irene and today we're going to talk about the topic making a quilt that is outside your preferred color zone. So maybe you have a friend that you want to make a quilt for, or there is somebody who asks you to make a quilt, or you want to make a present and you know the color scheme of their house or their living room and it's completely not what you are used to work with. Here I have 5 tips that you can keep in mind when you have to make or want to make such a quilt. Number 1, get a fabric bundle, a fat quarter bundle, a half yard bundle, however much you need to make that quilt. Because a fat quarter bundle or a fabric bundle is already curated, they all go together very well, and even when it's not your color choice or your comfort color scheme, you know on forehand that they all will match and they all will go very well together. So you don't have to do any color picking yourself. You just have to find a pretty bundle that goes in the color scheme that you want to make. So a fabric bundle, a very good option to start. 2, go to a local quilt shop. If you know the colors that you want to use but don't have that in your stash or don't know how to put them together, and go to your local quilt shop, and maybe you can take a few of the fabrics from your stash that you want to use and ask them to help you add some fabrics to it. So then they can help you put a collection of fabrics together that work nicely, so it doesn't make your brain hurt by searching for fabrics which are out of your comfort zone. Yeah, so a local quilt shop can really help you find fabrics that go with the ones you already have. Or when you mention, I want to make something in purple, yellow, green, can you help me put something together? Of course, they have so many fabrics around, they can help you mix and match and get you started with fabrics to make your quilt. Number 3, get the person you're making the quilt for involved. When it's not your comfort color scheme, then it might be hard to make choices on what somebody else would like. So I remember that my mom made one of her first quilts and she wanted to make it for me, and I was very little, sorry mom, but I kept saying I don't like the fabric with the flowers, and she loved it and she did put it in, but I always kept seeing the fabric with the little flowers because I didn't really want to, I didn't really like those so much. So yeah, I always kept seeing those, even though the quilt was pretty and such a wonderful quilt she made. And it was used a lot, so no harm done. But this did pop up when I read the question. If you want to make it for somebody, if you can, take them with you to a local quilt shop and let them help you pick out fabrics, so you know for sure that they are going to love it, even when you don't love the fabrics, because it's not your color choice, that the person you're making it for will really love it. So getting them involved, picking out fabrics can really help. Number 4, you can always get a kit. If there is a quilt that you really want to make, and there is a kit that goes with it, you're all set. So then you don't have to do any of the thinking. You can just search for a pattern with the kit in a specific color combination that you need or want to make. You don't have to have any of the colors in your stash or buy yards of fabric. You just can buy a kit, and then that's it. You won't have too many leftover fabrics from the kit probably, and you will have a kit and you will have a quilt made in some different colors than your own preferred colors. And then the last tip, tip number 5, is don't make your project too big or too long so that you don't have to spend too long on it, because when it's not your preferred colors, it might not bring you as much joy to work on it than when you could work with your own say rainbow fabrics, when I can make something with this, it makes me super happy every time I dive into it. When I cut the fabrics, when I press it, when I sew it, when I quilt it, every time I see it, it gives me joy. And when you are working with colors that you don't really like, make sure that your project isn't going to take you a year to finish, because maybe then you will lose interest because of the colors. It could happen to me with a big crocheting project. I don't like purple, don't have purple here, and I started a big crochet project blanket and I mixed in purple. Don't know why I did that, and I did not finish it because the more I worked on it, the more I started to dislike the colors and the feel of the whole thing. So yeah, I couldn't get myself to finish it, and it was supposed to be a very big project, so that never got finished. So it would be a shame if you start a quilting project and use some different colors than you normally do and won't finish it. So my final tip, don't make it a too difficult or too intricate pattern that you pick for your project. Just make something that's going to be fairly quick, so you can move on and back to your own comfort zone and own colors. There you have it, some tips on when you want to make something, a quilt, that is not in your own color comfort zone. Hope this helps a little bit, and thank you for sending in your question. If you're watching and you also have a question, you can always put it down in the comment section down below. I would love to read them, and maybe your question will be answered next week. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you again next week. Bye!